Hello, welcome to revision for SPM mathematics. Okay, I'm going to go through some topics which I think are quite important to know the basic formulas that we need to use when we are solving problems involving these topics. Okay, so the first topic I'm going to look at is quadratics. Now, quadratic expression, basically when we have an equation or an expression where x has the power of 2, okay, the highest power is 2, we know this as a quadratic expression where a, b and c's are constants. Okay, now for this quadratic expression, normally it becomes an equation when we equalize it to 0 or we equalize it to another function, okay, or another number, then we solve it to make it an 0. All right, that becomes a quadratic equation. So okay, quadratic equation is basically used to do quadratic function graphs, right? We normally quadratic equations, we also can solve it to find the roots, and we also use it to find to draw graphs in the quadratic function. Okay, now how do we know whether the graph is it a maximum graph or a minimum point graph? Okay, you can see, first of all, look at the a. All right, the a, if the a is bigger than 0, the graph shape will be a u shape, which means a is positive number. Okay, 1 2 3 or so on. And then if we have it in this shape, the minimum point is we get the minimum point, all right, which is at the bottom here. Okay, and this is the axis symmetry. Axis symmetry we can get by using the formula negative b over 2a. Okay, you can use this to find out where is the axis symmetry. And if the a is smaller than 0, which means a is negative 1 or negative 5, or any decimal or something which also is negative, smaller than 0, we will draw a graph in this manner. Okay, here we will get the maximum point. Okay, now when we draw graphs, all right, of quadratic graphs, we will see that they cut the x-axis at a certain place. Now these numbers here where it cuts are known as the roots, which will help us to solve this equation. Okay, now let me show you how this equation, from here we can draw this graph as well. Okay, now solving quadratic equation, for example, now you're given this equation, x squared plus x minus 6 equals to 0. Now there are a few methods of using to solve this, but the one I'm just going to go through is the factorization method. So first of all, we look at our x squared. Now what gives us x squared? So x squared is definitely given by x multiplied by x, okay, which we have done here. And then the next one is looking at the c, okay, which is negative 6 here. How do we get negative 6? So negative 6, there are few methods of getting it, whether we get by negative 6 multiplied by 1 or 6 multiplied by negative 1. 3 means all the factors that can give us negative 6, okay, or negative 3 times negative times 2. Okay, so all this will give us negative 6. So we need to check and see where we get negative 6 as the final answer here, as the last part, but also the middle one here we have to get a positive x, positive 1x. That one is taken by multiplying these two numbers diagonally like this. Okay, which means we multiply x with 3x and x with negative 2. So we'll get the middle part here, which will actually give us the should give us the b. Okay, so here look at, now if I put here 3 and then negative 2, I will multiply 3 with x will give me 3x, and negative 2 with x will give me negative 2x. So now 3 minus 2x will give me x. So it satisfies this equation. Okay, so my roots are correct, so I'll get these two roots. I will get x plus 3 and x minus 2. So this will be your roots, okay, which will solve the equation. So x plus 3, I will solve it equals to 0, or x minus 2 equals to 0. So I'll get x is negative 3 or x is 2. So basically when I draw the graph, this is where they will be cutting the x-axis. Okay, all right. Sometimes our quadratic equation, it doesn't have a b constant value. Okay, you just get 2x squared plus 4. Now this 4 is where it's going to cut the y axis. This is actually our C. Okay, so we can draw it in that manner. All right. Okay, another way of solving this factorization or factorizing this equation is using the calculator. Okay, what you need to do in your calculator, you press mode 3 times. Okay, then you choose eqn. All right, then you click degree. Okay, then they'll ask you how many values. I think you add 2, and then you add the value of a, b, and c. Okay, you will be given the roots. The answer will be given the value of x, so you can use that to get back your equation. Okay, so that's for quadratics. Okay, now the second one is number bases. Okay, number bases. Now conversing of bases. Now there are a few ways we can do this. All right, first of all, the changing from other base to base 10. Okay, so example, base 2, base 5, and base 8, we're changing it to base 10. You can also use a calculator to do this. Yeah. Okay, so now base 2 to base 10, look at the number here. So what you need to do, you write the number like this. Write the number like this. And for each of them, since it's a base 2 number, so you need to change it or get the power of the number. You need to get the power of the number. Like example, the first part here will be 2 to the power of 0. Here 2 to the power of 1. The next one 2 to the power of 2. 2 to the power of 3 followed by 2 to the power of 4. So we write this like this. Okay, and we see the value for each of the space. So here it gives you 1. Here it gives you 2. 2 to the power of 2 gives you 4. Here 8 and 16. So what you need to do is add all these values, which gives you for the places where you have the 1. Where you have 0, no need to add. Okay, so example, here you see 16. That means this place is 16. The value there is 16. Here is 4. Here is 2. So I add this, I will get 22, which is my changed to base 10 already. This means when I change 10110 from base 2, I will get 22 in base 10. So basically you are writing the power of it. Okay, so each space here has got a value. Multiply it, add it, you get the answer. Okay, same goes for base 8. So for base 8, I put 8 to the power of 0, 8 to the power of 1, 8 to the power of 2. Okay, so I put here 7, 3, and 5. I need to multiply this with the value here. Okay, each one multiplies. So 7 times 1, 7. 3 times 8, 24. 5 times 64, 320. I add it. This is the answer that I get. So my base 8 changed to base 10 is 351. Okay, for base 5, same. All right, so I just need to change, put here 5 to the power of 0, 5 to the power of 1, 5 to the power of 2, 5 to the power of 3, which gives me 1, 5, 25, 125. So I need to multiply this. Okay, 2 multiply this. 0, I don't need to multiply. So here is 3 multiplied by 5, I get 15. 4 multiplied by 1, I get 4. So I add this, I'll get 269. So this is in base 10. Okay, so basically the formula base A to base 10, multiply power of A with numbers, add the total, you will get the answer. Okay, all right, now to convert from base 10 to other base, now it's the other way around. Okay, all right, so now from base 10 you want to change to base 2. What you need to do, divide the number that's given to you, divide it by 2. Divide it, and you need to write the balance. If there's a balance here, see 2 times 11, I get 22. So there's no balance. 2 times 5 gives me 10. So the balance is 1. 2 times 2 gives me 4. Balance is 1. Okay. 2 times 5, the balance, 2 times 1 gives me 2. So there's no balance here. And 2 times 0 gives me 0. And the balance is 1. So I have to do until 0. Okay, so then the number is written like this, from up to bottom, from down to up, right, like that. So this is the conversion. So this is the number from base 10 this into base 2. So base 10 to base 8, same. Okay, I divide it by 8. So same thing, okay, so 8 times 4 gives me 32, okay, and then 8 times 4 gives me 32 and 31, so 8 times 3 gives me 24. So 31 minus 24, I'll get the balance 7. Okay, 8 times 5, 40. So 43 minus 40 gives me 3 balance. 8 cannot divide 5, so 8 times 0 is 0, so I balance 5. So that gives me the number. Okay, then base 10 to base 5, same, I divide with 5, write the balance, and I get the answer. Okay, so from base 10 to base A, you divide a number and write the balance. Alright, so that's for bases. Okay, and also how do we add and subtract the base? Okay, now when we talk about the base, basically, like say for base 2, okay, that means the number that we write, like 1011, it cannot go more than 2. Okay, when the number reaches 2, it has to become 0 back again. Okay, same goes for base 5. For base 5, the number has to be lower than 5. Okay, cannot be bigger than 5. Base 8, the number has to be lesser than 8, cannot be more than 8. Okay, so now for this one, from base 2, if I want to add two numbers of base 2, look at this example. Okay, so 1011 plus 111. All right, so I need to do, okay, 1 plus 1 gives me 2. I cannot write 2, so I'll write 0. 1 plus 1, 0, and the extra 1 there I put up. So basically 1 plus 1 equals to 10. Okay, that's the way of doing it. So 1 plus 1 is 10. So I will write 0 here, 1 carry up. Now 1 plus 1, 10. 10 plus 1 will give me another 1. 0 plus 1. So 10 plus 1 gives me 11. So 1 up here, up carry 1. So 1 plus 1 gives me 10. Again, so 0, 1, another 1 up here. So now here 1 plus 1 gives me 10. So this is my answer when I get to add it. Okay, there's another way of doing it. Okay, we can change this into base 10 and then add it, then change it back to base 2. So if I do it that way, so 1011 actually is 11 for base 10 and is 7 for base 10. Okay, which is 1, 2, 4. Right, 1 plus 2 plus 4 gives you 7. Okay, so I'll get 18. Then 18, I redo it and I change it to base 2, I'll get the answer. So you can see your answer is the same. Okay, so when it comes to minus, all right, 1 minus 1 gives you 0. Okay, 0 minus 0 is 0, 1 minus 0 0, 1 minus 0, 1 minus 1 gives you 0. So my answer here is 100. Okay, so same thing if I change it to base 10 and then I convert it back. Okay, base 5 is the same. See, 3 plus 3 gives me 6. So I cannot write 6. So I will need to minus it from 5 because my maximum is base 5. So I only write 1. I write 1 and I carry 1 on top. Okay, so here will become 3 plus 1, 4 plus 1, 5 again. So 5, I cannot write 5. I minus it from 5. I write 0 and I carry another 1 here. So my answer is 301. This is base 5. Okay, so I can do it another method. I can change it to base 10 and redo it and I'll get the same answer. Okay, so 2 methods of doing it. You can also use the calculator to do it. Alright, so look at this, okay, because it's very important in your objective questions. Okay, next one is a topic on sets. Okay, so basically I'm just going to go through very basic stuff. Universal set, okay, A is given this, B is this, okay, say B is C, D. So all these are known as elements. Okay, A is element of A, B is element of E. Element, this is the symbol. If it's not an element, is you cross it out. Okay, number of elements in set A is 5. Okay, when we say B is subset of A, that means all of B is in A. Look at the elements of B. B has got C, D in it. C, D are both in here. So basically when we draw a Venn diagram, you will see that C, D actually belongs inside A. So we said B is a subset of A. Okay, so B is a subset of A. All elements of A are B are in A. Alright, okay. Okay, then we go to this part where we have intersections of set. So now intersections is when you basically both sets have the same elements. Okay, both are in there. So you see here set A is has got 2 3 4 5 6 7. B is this, so you can see there are two elements which are the same. Okay, so they have the same elements. So A intersect B is 3 and 6. Number of elements A intersect B is 2. 1 2. So when you draw a Venn diagram, it has to look like this. Okay, now union is basically combination, combine. Okay, you union together, you unite together. So it means everything that's in there. Okay, example, now P is given these elements, Q is this. Okay, so P union Q is all the elements that are in P and also in Q. Okay, if you have the same elements, you don't need to repeat it twice. Basically, you understand that the elements are there. So number of elements P unit Q is 9 elements here. Okay, so when you draw a Venn diagram, it will be like this. Wherever you have the intersection, that you put in between, because you can see these two are having on both, so they intersect. Okay, but union is everything that's in here. Alright. Okay, so combine operations. Okay, when you have, okay, now I have A, B. Alright, make it a bit bigger. So I have A and B and C. Okay, so if you see A intersect B is 7 and 9. Okay, A intersect B, yeah, union C. So we do A intersect B first and union C. We're going to shade this area. Okay, A intersect B is this area. A intersect B and unions with C, it joins with C. Okay, so we always do the one in the bracket first. So A intersect B is this area. Okay, and it unites with C. Unite means it joins the whole of C. Okay, so you join the whole of C. So that is your answer. So you get this thing. Alright, if I do it a different way, example, I said A intersect if I do A union B intersect C. Okay, so basically B intersect C is this area. Okay, and union with A means the whole of A in it too. Okay, it means that it will join the whole of A also. So it will be only this area and this whole area. Okay, this gives me A union B intersect C, because B intersect C is this area. So union with A means join the whole of A. Okay, alright, now if you look at this one, okay, complement of intersection. Okay, when we have this sign here, this sign means complement. Alright, so A intersect B complement. That means the things that are not in A intersect B, all that is not in A intersect B. So A intersect B is this area. So what complements this? So the whole thing which is not in this area. Okay, so this is A intersect B. Complement means whatever is not in here. Alright, over here if you see P union Q complement. Okay, P union Q is this whole area. So complement is whatever is outside, which is not there. Right? Okay. Next, we see this question. They want you to shade P union Q complement intersect R. Okay, let's do P union Q first. So P union Q gives you this whole place, P union Q. Okay, so now P union Q a complement will be what is not here, the outside of it. Okay, the outside of it, including all this. Alright, okay, so the one that I shade this way, that is all P union Q complement. Okay, and now this area which intersects with R. Okay, so I'm going to do the shading of R this way, intersect of R, and I only look at the part where it intersects, where I have both the shades. Okay, just now I did like that. Okay, then the ones like this. So this area has got both the shades. So this is the answer for this area. Okay, to be careful when you're doing this, you have to be really paying attention, and if possible try to use a different shading method to see where is correct. So students always make a lot of complications here because they always get confused. All right, so you have to really concentrate properly. Okay, now the next topic we're going to look at is linear inequalities in two variables. Okay, all right, now this one, first of all, we are going to, either you're getting two things. Either you are asked to shape the area, okay, they give you an inequality, they ask you to shade the area, or they give you the area, they ask you to name the shaded area, write down the inequalities. Okay, so first of all, you need to know, okay, when you have a graph and this line here, okay, in this method, this line is equals to y equals to h. Yeah, this line represents y. All the horizontal lines like this are y equals to something. Okay, this is your y line. Y-axis is like that, but your lines are like this. Okay, this represents a value of y. So your area above of this is definitely y bigger than this number here. Say this is -5. Okay, so y bigger than -5. Over here will be y lesser or same as -5. If it's a straight line, joint line, that represents lesser than or smaller or bigger than. Okay, now vertical lines like this all represents value of x, because x is 1 here, x is 2, x is 3, all this is where x is. Okay, so this is x equals to k. Okay, and this area of course is smaller than k. Say k is 5, so this area all is smaller number. Here is the bigger number, x is bigger than k. Yeah, straight line again is bigger than or same as. All right, now if you have a line this way or this way, yeah, which is not horizontal or vertical, okay, so this line is represented by an equation which is y equals to mx plus c. Y equals to mx plus c. Definitely that is the equation there. All right, now how are you going to determine the line? Okay, and the area, so this area normally is bigger and this area is smaller. Okay, but if you have a line this way, you need to do the same thing. You need to know how to label it. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about how we determine y equals to mx plus c. Now m here is your gradient. Okay, now how we will get gradient? Gradient is taken by 2 points on the line. Okay, like for example this question, just take any 2 points on the line. Okay, if you know the value, take it, minus it. This, okay, say this is x1 y1, this is x2 y2. Okay, so your gradient needs to be is always y over x. So y1 minus y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. It has to be the same thing. Okay, if you are doing y2 minus y1, please, the bottom also has to be x2 minus x1. You cannot be doing x1 minus x2. Okay, so gradient, get your gradient. So with your gradient, you will get your m. Okay, that is the value for your m. All right, so over here I take these 2 points. Okay, 0, 2 and 2, 0, negative 2, 0. So I'll get m is 1. Okay, I'll get m is negative 1. Sorry, m is 1. Yeah, correct. Okay, and then is my c. What is your c? C is the intercept at the y-axis, where this line is going to cut your y-axis. That is your c. Please remember that. It could be this way or it could be this way. This part where it cuts, even bottom here, where it cuts the y-axis, that is your c, the last part here. Okay, but remember, it always represented by y equals to. Okay, if you have 2y equals to 3x minus 2, you cannot say negative 2 is your c, because this is 2y. You must change it to become y first. Y is what? Then only that number here is your c. Okay, so here, over here is easy to see. It's just 2, so you know your c is 2. So your equation, you'll get y equals to x plus 2. Okay, so steps in describing shaded area. First, determine the lines. Y equals to mx plus c, and then y equals to what, or which lines are the one that is that they are talking about in that shaded area. It's like that. So what are the lines which are covering the shaded area? Okay, so you see, if the line is a straight line, it has to be smaller than or bigger than. If it's a dotted line, it's no equals. Okay, and if a line is like that, you say you get a line like this, y equals to mx plus c, this is always positive. I always say, remember, like that, positive. The m is always positive. And if you get the line this way, remember, negative. Your m has to be a negative number. Okay, all right, second, look at the shaded area. Okay, pick a coordinate in the area, fill in the y and the x coordinate. Okay, let me tell you what I'm talking about here. Okay, first of all, look at example. Now they want you to name this shaded area. Get me the 4 inequalities which are covering this shaded area. Okay, now if you see this, okay, we have how many lines? 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, 1, 2, 3, and 4 lines. Okay, so we're going to go one by one, look at the lines. So line number 1 is like this. So basically I know is x equals to 3 because it cuts at 3. Okay, all right, line number 2, this one, okay, is a straight horizontal line, is y equals to -2. Line number 3, okay, this one I need to find the line because this is a y equals to mx plus c line, and I know it's a positive m because it's positive. Okay, so m, how do I get the m? I'll just get 2 dots. I'll take this and this. Okay, so I get 3 minus 0, 3 minus 6, this is 0, 0, and the x also 3 minus 0. So I will get the m is 1. Okay, and my c is 0 because it cuts at 0. Alright, so I will get the line is equals to y equals to x. Okay, my line is y equals to x. Alright, okay, so I will get that equation. And the last equation, okay, if you see, the last equation is this equation, this line. So this line, what line is this? This is y equals to 0. Alright, this line is y equals to 0. Okay, so basically now I've got my 4 lines. So now I need to find now this area, where does the inequalities, what are the inequalities? So I will just pick one coordinate in this area so that I can replace them into the equations to see whether they satisfy what equation. Okay, so I'm going to choose coordinate 1, -1. Okay, x is 1, y -1, which is this point here, which is inside the shaded area. Okay, so I'm going to replace and see how they satisfy this equation. So if I see my first line, x equals to 3, okay, I'm going to replace my x value with the value here, which is 1. So is 1, is it smaller than 3 or is it bigger than 3? Okay, 1 is definitely smaller than 3. So my area here is actually x smaller than 3. So I got my first inequality. And why is it smaller than 3 and not equals as? Because this line is x dotted line. Okay, now my second coordinate, y equals to -2, okay, which is this line. And this area, whether is it bigger or smaller? Okay, again I'm taking this point. Okay, so I'm replacing it by my y now is -1. So -1 and -2, is it bigger or smaller? Obviously -1 is bigger than -2. So, and it's also same as, because it is a joint line. Okay, so my area is this. Okay, all right, the third one, y equals to x. Again, I'm taking this coordinate. Okay, I'm putting y as -1 and x as 1. Which one is bigger? Okay, so obviously the sign has to be like this. Okay, so y is bigger, smaller than x. So is that this area represents y is smaller than x. Okay, and the last one, y equals to 0. Okay, obviously this point -1 here, y is smaller than 0. So I've got my 4 equations already, 4 inequalities already. So this is my answer. You get that? We just need to pick one point which is in the shaded area, see how it satisfies the equation. Okay, then you can know which area, which is the correct way to put the inequalities. All right. Okay, that is if you are given the shaded area. Now if you are asked to draw shading and drawing lines, okay, draw the lines, find x and y coordinate. Okay, if you are asked to draw y equals to 3x minus 2, okay, how are you going to draw this line? Right, so you need to find the value of x and y. So you draw a box, just choose any coordinates, negative 1, x as negative 1, 0 or 2, and see how it changes. So if x is negative 1, y will be, if x is negative 1, y will be 3 times negative 1 minus 2, so you will get negative 5. So you answer negative 5 here. So you plot this coordinate. Okay, so you see and you draw the line. All right, and then you pick a coordinate and see if you satisfy the inequality or not. Okay, now an example, I ask you to draw the lines and shade the area which will satisfy these three equations. Okay, y minus x is bigger than 4, y lesser than 4, x bigger than negative 4. Okay, you need to draw these lines also. Okay, so in the graph given, first of all, okay, I'm going to draw this line, y minus x equals to 4. Okay, so I rewrite it as y equals to x plus 4. Straight away, I know my c is actually now positive 4. Okay, that means this line is going to cut at positive 4. Okay, I need to put in the values to find a few dots or coordinates. So I put x negative 2, x 0, x 2. So I change. You can see I did the question here. I replaced the value. So I got y is 2 when x is negative 2, y is 4 when x is 0, and y is 6 when x is 2. So I got my coordinates. Okay, negative 2, 2. Okay, negative 2, 2, 0, 4, and 2, 6. So I draw my line. So this line actually is y equals to, y minus x equals to 4. Okay, I did not write that there. Let me write it. Oh, it's written here already, sorry. Okay, so y minus x equals to 4. All right, now the next one is I need to draw the line y equals to 4. Okay, so y equals to 4. Obviously, we need to draw here because it's lesser than only, but there's no equal, so I will draw a dotted line. Okay, this line is y equals to 4. And x equals to negative 4. X equals to negative 4 is like this. Okay, so x equals to negative 4, also a dotted line. So now I need to know, I need to shade the area. Okay, so I also do one more thing. Okay, since I see this triangle here, I'll pick one coordinate here and see, okay, whether it's satisfied or not. So I pick negative 3, 3. Okay, and I replace the values all in here to see whether do they satisfy the area or not. Like example here, okay, y minus x lesser than bigger than 4. I'll get here 6. 6, is it bigger than 4? Yes, that means this area is correct. Okay, for this one also same. So I check, to see whether my area is it the correct area or not. Okay, so this is how we shade the drawing. Okay, next topic, we're looking at graphs in motion. All right, now there are two graphs that normally are being questioned. One is distance time graph and the other one is speed time graph. Okay, so for the distance time graph is very easy. We know we are given the distance, okay, how far we have traveled and the time. Okay, so the gradient here represents speed. Okay, change in distance over change in time is always the speed. So if it's a positive gradient, okay, that means it is going on with the correct or with a constant speed. Okay, and if it's like this means it's stationary, it has stopped because there is no the speed doesn't change. Okay, speed is constant already. Okay, and if it's going down, it means it's a negative gradient, means it's decelerating, it's already coming to a stop, it's decelerating, the speed is decreasing. All right, so to find speed, we just need to find the gradient. So the point here minus the beginning point, okay, over the time taken. Average speed is total distance over total time. So you plus all the total speed, okay, over the total time. All right, okay, for the speed time graph, the distance traveled is the area under the graph. Okay, so the area that we get here, okay, is the distance travel. All right, and this area normally is given by the formula of area of trapezium. Okay, trapezium area, okay, trapezium is half, yeah, the addition of the two parallel lines together, okay, two parallel A, so this is A and this is B, so A plus B and multiply by the height, okay, which is the V here. All right, so that is the area of trapezium. So over here now, distance travel, the gradient here will give us a change of speed, which is acceleration. Okay, if speed increases, acceleration. If you are going like this, yeah, flat, that means it's a constant speed, and if you are going downwards, it's deceleration. Okay, so again, average speed is total speed distance over total time. All right, so this one basically you just need to know how to count the area and know the correct parts of the movement. Okay, the other topic I'm going to look at is statistics. Is a very easy one here. You just need to know what is range. Range is the largest value minus the smallest value. Interquartile range, okay, is the third quartile minus the first quartile. Like example, you are doing the cumulative frequency. So your third quartile is your first quartile is the 1/4 of the whatever the value here, the maximum value, okay, and the third quartile is the 3/4 of this. All right, so when you minus this, you will get the interquartile range, which is the value here, not here, the value here. Okay, mode is the highest frequency, the highest frequency that you are getting in the table. Median is the middle data, and mean is the total sum of data over the number of data. Okay. Okay, the last one, I think, oh no, second last, okay, is the simultaneous equation. How do we solve simultaneous equation? All right, now this one normally they'll give you a problem, you have to come up with a simultaneous equation. So this one, two equation with two unknowns. Okay, so you have the first one like x plus y equals to something, and the second one as well. Now the first thing you need to do, step one, is make one unknown with the same coefficient. So the number in front here has to be the same, then only you can get rid of it. Okay, you need to get rid of one. So okay, example, now here I have x and here is 4x, here is 3y, here is 12y. So I will try to make the x the same. So I'm going to multiply the first equation with number 4. Okay, so I will get 4x plus 12y equals to 44. Okay, so this is my new equation, and my second equation just now from here is this 4x minus y. So what I'm going to do, I need to get rid of the x because they are the same. So how I get rid? So for this, I need to minus 4x minus 4x. Okay, so when I minus 4x with 4x, I'll get 0 here. But I need to minus all this also. So I need to do 12y minus y. Okay, which I write like that. 12y minus y equals to 44 minus 5. Okay, so now 12y minus y, I'll get 13y equals to 39. So I'll get the value of y, which is 3. Then I will replace this value into the original equation. Okay, so I will get the value of x. Alright, so same goes here. Another example. Okay, this one 5x plus 2y equals 21. 3x minus 4y equals to this. So I'm looking at, how to make this the same. So I can see there's a connection here. Okay, I can multiply this whole thing by 2, so I will get 4y as well. So 10x plus 4y equals 42. Over here, 3x minus 4y. So I need to get rid of the 4y. So 4y minus 4y will give me 0 straight away. So what I need to do, I cannot put here minus, but I will do here as addition. Because then 4y plus negative 4y will give me 4y minus 4y. Okay, so the rest I will need to add. So 10 plus 3 will give me 13x. 42 plus negative 3 will give me 39. So I will get x is 3. I'll replace this into the original equation, and I will get the value of y, which is also 3. Okay, now trigonometry, we need to know the formula for the Pythagoras theorem. Remember, Pythagoras theorem always has a right angle, and the hypotenuse is the one opposite of the right angle. Okay, so c square is equals to a square plus b square. So that is the Pythagoras theorem. Okay, so to find C is the square root of A square and B square. So the common Pythagoras triangles, okay, we have 3, 4, this must be 5. 6, 8, 10, 5, 12, 13. So you can remember this. Okay. Alright, the next one for the trigonometry part, always remember so, ka, tua. Okay, so is for the sine, ka is cos, tua is tangent. So, okay, which means sine theta is actually opposite over hypotenuse. So when you have a theta here, okay, opposite is the one, the line, the length opposite here is opposite, and the one adjacent is the one touching the theta, and hypotenuse again is the one opposite of the right angle. Okay, so over here sine theta, to find sine is so, remember so, S-O-H, sine is opposite over hypotenuse, so opposite over hypotenuse, so you need to find the length of this over the length of this. Ka is cos, cos theta is adjacent over hypotenuse, ka, and tangent theta will be tua, opposite of over adjacent, opposite over adjacent. Okay, so example, all right, given theta is here, and this is given 5 and this is 6. Find the value of theta. So you know now, okay, the one that you have is opposite and adjacent. Okay, opposite and adjacent. So you have these two values. So what are you going to use? Has to be tua. Okay, so ka tua. All right, so you use tangent theta. Okay, tangent theta is opposite over adjacent, so 5 over 6, which gives us 0.88. So to find theta, I will find arctangent of 0.833. I'll get the angle 39.8. Okay, so that is all until now. Okay, I will add on more videos later on, so hopefully you will be able to get just a little bit of flashback of the formulas and points that we normally use in the mathematics. Okay.